bawat kaso kailangan may ebidensya. At yun ang pagtutulungan natin. Out of the 8,421 ang ghost projects. Kaso to, hindi basta-basta, kailangan conviction ang goal.
Hello everyone, welcome to our one-on-one series. And today we have with us one of the members of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or the ICI, former DPWH Secretary Rogelio Babes SINGSON. Secretary Babes, may I still call you that?
Sure, Karen.
Thank you so much for this interview. Thank you for joining us. First, I think it's important that we do a bit of profile, how you got here in the first place. Why did you take the job?
In the past, especially in government, I've always accepted pioneering jobs. So like BCDA, walang kaparis yun, no? When we did the bidding for Fort Bonifacio, there was nothing like it, no? Even my first job was on family planning, if you will know that. But aside from that, this one was rather difficult to decide on because I thought I was in my last quarter of my life, no, and then last 3 minutes pa, no. So, in fact, a former boss said, "Mahilig ka naman sa self-inflicted pain."
Okay.
So, anyway, and my advocacy has always been related to this thing. No? So, I had no choice, but of course, against the wishes of my family. In fact, my wife was really crying when I told her that I had accepted, and my children, sabi niya, "Why did you have to bring us here?" No? So anyway, so I had to apologize and pasensya na kayo. Your dad is crazy about these things, so that's it.
Now, did the president ask you personally, and what did he say that made you say yes, that you couldn't turn him down?
Actually, Karen, to tell the truth, there were a lot of feelers about DPWH. You know? And I said, with the situation, I don't think I'll even pass first base in the Commission of Appointments. Kasi kung makikita mo yung mga membro sila yung medyo involved. No? So I've identified 2 persons in the existing cabinet. And I talked to both of them. And of course, at the end of the day, sabi ko si Secretary Vince should be very ideal for that. He's young and he's aggressive and he knows members of Congress and so on. So finally, nung na-appoint na si Secretary Vince, sabi niya sa akin, "Why don't we work together? Punta ka doon sa DOTR." Sabi ko, not my cup of tea. So finally, this ICC came about. No? So this was a hard decision.
ICI. Baka ma-ICC ka, sir.
ICI. Sorry. ICI, correct. Yeah. It was a difficult decision.
Yeah, but what did the president tell you?
Not even directly, but only feelers. No? And I said, sure. At the end of the day, it was really also Vince Dizon who said, tanggapin mo na so we can work together. That's why we work together well.
Ngayon nung napili na kayong tatlo ng Malacanang, did the president give instructions to the 3 of you?
No, the instructions were given directly to the chairman, Chairman Andy Reyes. And it was very clear. No? The mandate was go to wherever the evidence leads you. Walang sasantuhin dito.
Ngayon halos 1 buwan na ang ICI. Barely. From the time the 3 of you took your oath, I want to ask you, what is your reaction, frankly, to the resignation of Mayor Ben Magalong?
I'll be very candid. No? Ben Magalong and I go a long way, no? Even before this thing happened. In fact, kausap ko siya this morning. So I was really caught by surprise. No? And later on, as things unraveled, apparently talagang nasaktan siya dun sa press statement. No? And I think he said that also. No? So we continue to work for anti-corruption because he's very active. In fact, I invited him when I was active in the Management Association to speak before MAP, yung uh, LGUs for good governance. No? So it's there. Our relationship go a long way, and not because he resigned, they also cut off. No?
Pag-usapan na natin mismo ang trabaho sa ICI. Unang-una, dumarami po sir ang nananawagan na dapat ang ICI is more transparent. Ano po ang dahilan bakit ayaw ng live streaming ng ICI?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, no, we have been in the past, no, asking witnesses. We've been calling in people whose names were coming out to give us more information that will stand in court, no? Because as you see, the mandate of ICI based on EO 94 is for us to investigate, no? So, para kaming pulis. Nakakita ka na ba ng pulis na nag-iimbestiga na may medyang nakakover? Hindi naman eh. No, so we're trying to get as much information, and they have to sign off affidavits and mga exhibits, so that when we complete a particular case, it will stand with the ombudsman na hindi na uulitin. Remember, people are expecting that kami magpapakulong. I'm already telling you, hindi kami magpapakulong. The process, unfortunately, is from the investigation, from ICI, we bring it to the ombudsman. The ombudsman looks at it, reviews it, and if there's probable cause, then submits it to the Sandigan Bayan. Unfortunately, ganun yung proseso natin. Legally, ang haba niyan. I'll tell you about 2 international gold standards for anti-corruption. This is ICAC of Hong Kong and CPIB, the Bureau on Anti-Corruption Practices in Singapore. Doon, all of this combined in one agency. Walang pasahan. So talagang sila, they can raid the house and then they can bring people to jail. Isang only one body. Unfortunately, that's not how our structure is. No? Tatlo. They can even go after members of the parliament. No? That's how strong it is. Dito, I'm still at a loss. How do you get members of Congress?
May inimbitahan kayong miyembro ng Kongreso, pero bago po yun, what do you think would happen if the hearings were live streamed? Ano ba ang minus?
We will be telegraphing certain information, mabubulabog, no? To tell you very candidly. So, there were other members I've been very active in MAP, no? So they finally understand why. Pero kung hindi naman sensitive, meetings, agreements on cooperation, we invite media. And unfortunately, we finally have a spokesperson, si Attorney Brian, who is doubling up as spokesperson and executive director. So ang usapan with him is inform the media as often as you can, but hold regular press briefings twice a week. No? So yun ang utos na sa kanya.
For
no?
transparency
For
purposes.
transparency. So every time that there's something significant that comes out, so ini-inform the media, like we recommended ILBO, no, to these people. Everyone binanggit niya dun sa press release niya. No? So I think, unfortunately, as I said, we only had him last week. No? In fact, lahat ng staff doon, karamihan wala pang kuwan because the staffing pattern from DBM has not been released yet.
So Secretary Babes, do you believe that a live stream will ever be reconsidered, or yung totoo lang, the three of you have agreed not to go there?
We are looking at consider two options. One, what we would refer to as executive session, where we have critical witnesses that we want to really get as much information with proper documentation, pictures, sino yung kausap, kailan, and so on and so forth. No? And other sessions, no, kung general information lang din naman yung inaasahan namin, no, we can live stream that. No? Our hearings are Actually, nakatape.
So may pruweba. Oo, recorded.
Of course.
Oo.
Video and voice recorded.
Has there been a smoking gun?
Meron na. So, ayaw lang namin ispook yung mga pwede naming habulin. Because the other remedy, as I mentioned, if we wait for the legal process, ang haba niyan. So there are administrative remedies. No? Ito yung pinag-uusapan namin with AMLA, with the BIR, with Bureau of Customs, with the banking system. May mga nagsasuggest nga, why don't you demonetize the 1,000?
Do you agree with that?
That's not for me to decide.
Okay.
No? You can imagine panic sa merkado yan. No? Imbis na baka mamiso, ibayad mo.
Okay. Balikan natin ang kapangyarihan ng ICI based on the EO. So number 1, the ICI may recommend preventive suspension of public officials. Is this correct? You can freeze assets or recommend departure orders, recommend...
Not us, but we recommend to the appropriate agency. You know, like, may makuha kaming information. This company has gotten so much in contracts. Where is the BIR here? No, pwede mong habulin yan, and that's why pati yung BIR is now running after like 7 billion worth of back taxes. No, yung hindi magbayad yung kumpiskado yung mga assets nun. No, we just met with the BOC commissioner. No, and we said okay, yung mga hindi kompletong dokumento confiscated na yan. No. Pero huwag munang i-release yung iba. Ill-gotten wealth yan. Yung mga ganong administrative remedies.
Okay.
No? So yes, we are looking at all options. Even the Philippine Competition Commission, no? There's a provision there that has very specific violations on bid rigging. No? Nakita naman natin dyan, dami niyan. No? So that we will use to the hilt. No?
Now, the ICI can also endorse individuals na pwedeng sumama o sumali sa Witness Protection Program.
We have not even thought about it because personally, that's a far shot.
Wala kahit sa isa sa kanila na sa pananaw niyo po ay dapat.
State witness? No way. So far, yung mga lumitaw, personally, I'm talking as an individual but not as a commission because we have agreed that it has to be as much as possible unanimous. No? But kung may mga deadlock and so on, majority. No? But as I said, personally, medyo malayo from state witness as against protection lang. No? In fact, sad to say, kinantsawan ko pa si Secretary Boying. No? Sabi ko, buti pa sila, may protection, no? Naka-best. Kami, wala.
Alposhit.
Okay.
Diskaya, Bryce Hernandez, Alcantara, kahit sino sa kanila, wala.
Personally, no way. They are not the least guilty. They are not. They are principal players. Nakinabang na yung mga yan. Tama na. Galit na yung tao dahil sa kanila. Tapos bibigyan mo ng state protection to be able to get away from further cases and enjoy the benefits of their anomalous practices. Huwag naman.
Palagay nyo ba sa totoo lang, may makukulong?
Dapat lang. But as I said, that's beyond us sa ICI. So what we are just trying to do is make sure that our investigations lead to it. No, na hindi na makakawala.
You also are required to provide monthly reports to the Office of the President.
In fact, our agreement is as much as possible every 15 days.
Twice a month.
That's
Oo. Kailangan po ba magkaroon ng batas para bigyan ng kapangyarihan ang ICI? Kasi meron po ngayon House Bill, pati sa Senate, at gusto bigyan ng ngipin ang ICI.
Binabanggit nga ako ni Congressman Erice, hindi pa binanggit yung pangalan ko, a member ng damay pa ng
Ikaw ba yung magre-resign, sir?
Kausap ko siya.
Tapos?
Sabi ko, sinasabi nyo na walang ngipin, no? Alam naman namin yon. Eh di maggawa kayo ng batas na lagyan nyo ng ipin. Tingnan natin kung may lalabas nyo yan. Good luck was my last statement to them. No? Can you imagine? This is coming out in the direction of the anti-dynasty. You think they'll bring it out? Good luck. My last statement to them.
So you never said you would resign.
No.
Yeah.
Sabi ko kulang, no? Of course frustrated, no? Because friends ask me, sabi ko sa kanila, I would rather be in the streets than where I am today, no? I'd rather be with you protesting in the roads because when I had my first opportunity to speak even before ICI sa UP, kinantsawan ko yung mga estudyante doon. Sabi ko nung panahon namin, konting tuition increase lang, nasa kalye na kami. Eto, ninanakawan na yung future ninyo. This is your future being stolen. Come on. Go out in the streets. Go to whoever is responsible for all of this and call them out.
Do you support calls for the ICI? Kasi kailangan daw po ng batas na bigyan po kayo ng contempt powers at iba pa.
I told you already that the two gold standards, no, combine all three agencies under one roof. So immediate action, no, it might not be possible, no, but definitely, the bill can add additional strength, additional powers, including administrative remedies. Kasi ngayon, administrative remedies, you go through several agencies. No? Civil service for terminations or kung seso pa yan, iba pa yung pupuntahan mo. Kung presidential appointee yan, iba pa rin yung pupuntahan mo. If you want to, for features, you have to go to another agency. Ang daming kausap. No? That's why it's not easy for us, no, to have all of these administrative remedies. In fact, we've been meeting with all of these agencies involved to once and for all get together and agree on coordinating so that the remedies are faster.
Now, kulang ba kayo ng tao? There are 3 of you there in the ICI. You have agencies of government that you can call on to support you, pero kayong tatlo.
Tatlo lang kami.
So, tatlo lang kayo.
We don't even have an approved staffing pattern. Maniwala ka't hindi. So lahat yung mga tao sa amin, TY lahat yun, volunteers.
Oh, para sa bayan.
Well, hindi naman pwedeng paano yung out of pocket nila. No? Gagastos naman yan. At least man lang sagutin ng gobyerno yung kanilang out of pocket.
You know, you are taking all of this with, I would have to say, with some humor.
I have to. Maloloko ka rito.
You're committed, you work hard, you believe in it, but you can laugh.
What else can I do in my situation? Magmumukmuk pa ba ako nito? No? Para mo na ako pinatay kung I will not be able to sleep. I will not be able to do anything kung magmumukmuk ka pa. So I just take it day at a time.
The ICI has called on former Speaker Martin Romualdez and former Congressman Zaldico, who was the head of the Appropriations Committee during the 19th Congress. What do you hope to learn from the former Speaker regarding the budget?
I understand very well the process. No? What is the difference between amendments and insertions? No? Naintindihan ko yan. No? Because si Senator Ping, nung panahon ko, tatawagan niya na ako niyan. Sek, magkano yung NEP? Magkano yung GAA? Ano yung diferensya? Bakit may dagdag? Ayun na yung trabaho niyan ever since. So I think he still has the same staff in his Office of the Senate. Yung pa rin, no? So except that in a bigger scale. No? So it's there. No? In other words, I fully understand. That's why I have been giving briefings among my colleagues, yung mga staff. In fact, other agencies who we work with, AMLAC, SEC, o ganito yung nangyari dyan, how do you plug the holes, no? Because during the time of Pinoy, it was very clear, the mandate was very clear, stop corruption, because we were always stopped. Tatlo lang naman naglalaban ng pinaka-corrupt noon eh. Customs, immigration, o DPWH.
Hindi BIR noon? Nung panahon na yun?
I think BIR, Customs, and then DPWH.
What do you hope to find out from the former speaker?
For them, hopefully, to, I cannot say come out clean, just for them to explain their side. You know? What really happened, how did this happen, and what was their role. You know? Because it's the same questioning. You know? For all the people that we've asked, ganun parati ang umpisa niyan. Ano ba nangyari? Anong papel mo? You know? Why did this happen? The most common response, assumed regularity. That's always the statement. They say, I'm assuming that whoever submitted to me the documents is a regular transaction. All the way yan.
At naiinis kayo doon?
Of course.
Oo.
Bakit? Where was COA? Where was all of these resident auditors at the Ang problema sa DPWH, the implementing agency is the district engineer. Whereas the OTR, the implementing agency is the OTR. So funds are released to the OTR. In the case of DPWH, funds are released directly to the district engineering office up to the level of 150 million. Kaya wala kang nakikitang mataas doon. China-chap-chap yan. No?
What about Zaldico? He is abroad. Sinong papatawag nyo in his place?
Meron na. Ayaw ko muna.
Okay, meron na. Pero may sasagot for Congress yung appropriations.
Meron silang pumalit and meron pa kaming tatawaging iba.
Okay, so you can't reveal right
Not
now.
yet.
It has to be a formal announcement. Ngayon, ang tanong ng tao, sir, paano nakakasiguro na hindi selective ang ICI sa pag-imbestiga? So where do you get the cases to investigate? Ito ba yung galing sa Senado?
No, as far as I'm concerned, and our agreement is, let's start at the top. We don't want the small fries. No, we will let the agencies go after the small fries. No, but as far as we're concerned, we start from the top. No? In other words, as agency heads, members of Congress from the top, Speaker, Senate President. That's why we invited the key people already. No, Speaker, Senate President, DPWH, may susunod pang iba.
Iimbestigahan ba ng ICI, for example, ang Ilocos Norte, ang mga proyekto doon sa Pangulo yun, ang Davao proyekto naman sa VP yun? These are two major...
We have to. Hindi namin pipilian. We'll let the people who are involved explain their side. No? Wherever it falls, as I said.
6 na taon po kayong nag-DPWH.
Okay.
And during your term, you pushed for good governance, anti-corruption reforms. You pushed for institutional organizational changes. Nagkaroon kayo ng infrastructure performance and upgrades during your time, pati sa kalye. And you pushed for public-private partnerships, right? Nagbago ang imahe ng DPWH under your term.
It was very clear, Karen. After I met with the President, I met with the management committee of DPWH, first meeting. Sabi ko sa kanila, can you tell me where are the loopholes? No? So that's where we developed the 3 Rs. The right project, right cost, right quality. Napaka-simple nun. And we communicated this down the line. No? What does that mean? Right project. Ano bang pinagbabasihan yan? No? Bakit natin pinopondohan? Mapapakinabangan ba ng mga communities yan? Meron bang pinagbabasihan at anong pinagbabasihan? Magkano? Second, right cost. i-bid nyo lang ng tama yan. Competitive public bidding na binabantayan ng whoever has to be there dun sa Bids and Awards Committee. Pangatlo, right quality. We had instituted citizens' participation in the review, monitoring of projects in their communities. This is what I said when I went to communities. Parish priest, superintendent, community leaders, bantayan nyo tong project namin. Dahil kung sa laula ito, sayang yung pera, hindi nyo napakinabangan. Pero kung maganda ito, mapapakinabangan nyo ng gusto. Kaya pakitulungan nyo kami bantayan. Ang dali-dali naman yan. Sukatin nyo kung gaano kakapal yan. 10 inches, gaano kalapad, may sidewalk, etc. Pangatlo, right on time. Wag naman yung paulit-ulit. No? Pang-apat, right people. Ito talagang I had to retire at least close to 25%. You will not believe it.
And you hired younger people,
Yes,
I heard.
I had
Even below
30 years old and
Yes.
below was my standard. And I asked President Pinoy and Secretary Abad, you have to give me this support. Ang kalabang ko dito doon sa mga galing na engineers naga-overseas. And I have to match $600 a month. So I gave them the equivalent. They started 28,000, 30,000 with plantilla position dahil dati forever contractual yung issue dyan eh. Nagreklamo yung matatanda. Sabi niya, sir, 20 years na ako dito pero wala akong plantilla position. Ilang taong ka na? 55. Sorry. You're beyond the limit. Ang usapan kay Presidente, 30 years and below with plantilla position. Sino nagreklamo? Yung magagaling na engineers ng mga private sector because we were paying higher than them. Kasi ang kalabang ko overseas. No?
palagay mo, what happened? Because you already tried to change the structure of the DPWH. Why is it worse now?
Natapon lahat yun. I pointedly asked those followed, meron ba kayong department order that revoke these things? No? Wala naman daw. Ba't hindi nasunod? Assume regularity.
So where do the anomalies happen? How would you plug the gaps, the loophole?
Doon sa 5 lang. Right project. What supporting documents before they get funded? Is there a project assessment, social impact, and so on? Pangalawa, i-bid nyo ng tama yan based on unit price analysis. Ngayon, may magkatabing district, iba presyo ng simento, parehong nasa Bulacan. Magkatabing distrito, ibang presyo ng simento, sa yung truckload at saka steel piles, sheet piles, magkaibang presyo. It cannot be. So checks and balance have been thrown out the window.
Now, during your time, you had the integrity pledge. Sikat
That's
na
correct.
sikat to sa social media ngayon.
Of course.
Itong integrity pledge ni Secretary Babe Singson.
Hinahanap.
Oo, hinahanap ng mga netizens. Ano ba yun? Anong ginawa niyo?
What we did was we formulated an additional requirement for all bidders. For them to be able to participate, they have to sign off an integrity pledge. They pledge that they will follow the rules of public bidding 9184 and they will not go into corrupt practices. Hindi ka maglalagay sa district engineer or etc. They have to sign that for them to participate. Kung hindi mo pirmahan yan, disqualified ka. Ganong kadiretso yun. Wala hindi na pinatupad.
Yung integrity pledge po ninyo, palagay niyo po ba, pwede pang ibalik yun? May pag-asa pa ba?
I understand Secretary Vince is going to bring it back. And the citizens participatory audit. Because that's so important because here, especially today, you're giving NGOs, the church organizations, a forum and a venue for them to really monitor projects. And that's been there all the time. It's a COA initiative and we were very happy about it. During the time of Commissioner Heidi Mendoza, no? Nandun yan. Kaya lang, natapon, hindi yun napabayaan. So we asked the COA Commissioner yesterday, please bring it back and strengthen it.
So, Secretary, the DPWH has been given a bad name, flood control has been given a bad name, pero ang totoo, kailangan ng Pilipinas ng flood control. Are we doing it wrong?
Maling-mali because the program of government, and President BBM knows this, it's integrated water resources management. No? Look at what has happened. We have been blessed with a lot of rainfall. No? Bakit natin tinatapon yan at why is it that every year it causes all this damage? It's a cycle of destruction if we don't address it properly. There is a proven technology. We learned this in Japan, yung Sabo technology, which are series of flow dams, no? So that you regulate the flow of water based on the carrying capacity of the river. Ano nangyari dito sa mga convergence, no? Yung tawag lang sipa pala ang tawag. Political jurisdiction. Isang major river basin, nagpagawa siya ng flood control dito. Paano yung susunod na ulan na malakas, tapon yon o ulitin next year? Walang ibig sabihin. You have to address it based on a river system. That's why we had 18 major river basin master plans.
Walang nagawa.
Nandiyan dyan. Sabi nila, hinahanap, wala daw akong turnover. Ang sagot ko, hindi ko naman inuwi yan, ano?
Ang BGC po ay nakilala, hindi binabaha po yun eh. Iba ang sistema niya ng water management. Ikwento nyo, bakit hindi binabaha yun?
During my time, hindi lang yan yung nagawa namin. In fact, that was during the time where I was with BCDA. No? Because I joined the Fourth Bonifacio Development Corporation. So you can imagine, that is what we call regulating basin or imbakan ng tubig.
Sa ilalim ng lupa.
Sa ilalim ng Burgos Circle, it's there. It's a park on top. No? Pero ilalim niyan, I clearly remember 72 meters wide, width of EDSA, and about 6 stories deep, the equivalent of 8 or 9 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Because dati, military camp, open fields, so may absorption ng mga lupa. And then you have the golf course, water features, nandoon. Bigla mong dinevelop, nagkaroon ka ng mga kalye. So, and then you collected all of that through your drainage pipes. Pag tinapon mo diretso sa ilog yan, babaha yung kanto ng EDSA at Kalayaan, hindi madadaanan ng pati bus.
Oo. Yeah.
So, we had to impound that and calculate it based on a 50-year rainfall event. So lahat ng tubig dun muna and then we can use it for watering, for irrigation, or you discharge it based on the capacity of the creek.
Oo.
Just sa
Bakit
Mandaluyong.
hindi na lang yun ang gawin?
Wag ako itanong mo.
Ba't di na lang yun, sir, ang gawin nila? Ba't di kaya?
This is part of the master plan, integrated master plan for Metro Manila.
So follow the master plan.
There are well-meaning projects with sufficient justification, determine the right project and bid it out properly and bantayan yung quality. Again, I go back to the 3 R's of good governance.
What would you want to tell the Filipino people about the ICI?
Give us a chance to do our job. We know what we have to do. We are committed. All 3 of us are committed to the truth, and whoever was involved should be answerable for their actions. Because admittedly, there may be some unknowing victims. No? Si Mayor Benji Magalong, yung kontratista yun.
Oo, sa ng tennis court.
Si kontratista niya doon. Hindi naman ako naniniwala na SOP siya dyan. Di ba? So there are unwilling, unknowing victims. No? So I'm appealing to the public, no, especially to the young. Get involved.